Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And this is another draft. I hope you guys enjoyed the Premier League draft that we have already done. We're recording this on the same day, recording a couple more for you guys as well. Just having a bit of fun. International break is shocking, so might as well get into different kind of content, We're back again. Big up Alfie for joining once again, of course. Make sure to subscribe to Alfie. The link is in the title. You can literally click on it and be on the same tab whilst watching this video and subscribing. So if you're not, then you're a waste man. But this one is an all-time football draft. Now, we did the all-time Premier League draft. And if you watch that already, you will already know the rules. But if you're not, I will take you through the rules once again. 2 players from each club. Also, once a player's gone, the other player can't pick him. So neither of us can have, if someone wanted, I don't know, I'm not even going to say a name because they might come up in a draft. But once a player's gone, you can't pick him. You get that already. And yeah, it's got to be players that we've watched. Now, like the last one, Alfie, rock, paper, scissors. To see who goes first?
Yep. On shoot,
rock. Yeah, on shoot.
Hey.
Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot. We've both gone for scissors again.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right. Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot. I'm on paper. Again.
Yes, I won again. All right. Alfie, like last time, you can pick the formation. Go ahead. What formation are we picking?
4-3-3. Now things are going to get tasty.
More obviously midfielders.
More midfielders. We got a bit of... There's one less striker spot to choose.
Yep.
So it's going to get really, really tasty.
Yeah, honestly. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So obviously I'm picking first. I don't know whether you guys know this player by any chance, but he was it's one of the best of all time. Of course. You might know him, you might not. If you don't know him, please get yourself checked. But he played for in one of the best teams I've ever seen in 2011 and 2010. That was probably the first Champions League final I ever watched at Wembley. And obviously, I mean, I don't even know how to introduce this guy because he's always won everything that he can. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he confirmed that in 2022, one of the best games I've watched. He's been dunking on players for years. I mean, he does currently play in the MLS, but who cares? This guy in his prime, this guy for this club, he's the best player ever. I don't care. Lionel Messi. Starting off on a high.
I'm surprised you went for Messi straight away.
Bro, you think I'm going to let you have Messi? I know
no,
you, bro.
I'm not denying it's a fantastic pick. Messi's an unbelievable player, but I'm just surprised that you went with him so quickly, like from the jump.
This is a draft. It's a draft. You got to pick the best players that you can. Who else am I going to pick? Like 2 players each club. I'm always going to pick him in any club that he played for.
Yeah.
So obviously the Barcelona Messi, if people didn't realize, I'm not going to pick the fucking PSG one.
Or the Inter Miami one.
No, not the Inter Miami one. I'm not picking that either. I'm going to play him. I'll say off the right for now. For now, off the right. I might change that later. But on to you, Alfie.
I think it's pretty obvious. If you're going Messi.
Yeah.
The highest goal scorer in football history.
Yep. Of course.
And all his goals, when he gets to 1,000, will be televised. So there's no lying.
Fuck, that's a shot at someone.
Yeah, that's a shot at a dead man, but I digress.
He can't hear it, it's fine. Who's the name of the player you picked?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hypothetically, where are you playing him for now? You can change it later on.
I'm playing him off the left
Nice.
because I feel like if you're looking at the Real Madrid side that he was part of, he spent the majority of of his time at Real Madrid off the left.
Yeah, that's true. You're not picking that Al Nasser one.
Fuck no.
Um,
If I'm picking Ronaldo, I'm going for the big daddy. Real Madrid, man.
I hear that.
He got over 400 goals with Real Madrid. He won 4 out of his 5 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid.
I agree. Do you know what it is? I'm going to go tactical again. And I cannot risk this guy being taken off the board because a bit like how I did with one of my first picks for the previous draft.
Yeah.
The best in his position, by far, in my opinion, in his era. That's the reason why I'm picking him straight away. He actually is probably the biggest influence to his position to the modern era. And people are going to be like, what? But why are you picking him so early? But I'm not letting him stay on the board and having that be a risk.
Yeah.
I'm going Manuel Neuer.
Okay.
The best goalkeeper I've ever seen. The most impacted his position by far. Like when we talk about sweeper keepers.
Yeah. Sweeper keeper.
Coming off his
100%.
line. Best to do it. In the Champions League when you come up against Bayern and you think you see a team, they think you can get them back in the game. It's not happening because he's in goal.
Yeah.
He is in goal, bro. And obviously I'm picking a Bayern Munich version, I'm not picking a Schalke version or whoever else he played for. But again, the best in his position, I have to pick him because when it comes to keepers in that era, it's scarce, in my opinion. But on to your second pick, Alfie.
My second pick, I'm going to be completely different from what I did in the Premier League draft, and I'm going to go with one of my centre backs quite early. Now, this player was fantastic. He was a maverick in his position, a Champions League winning captain, possibly one of the best defenders Italy has ever seen. It is, of course, Paolo Maldini.
Fucking hell. You watched Maldini, yeah?
Bro, I watched him score in under a minute in Istanbul.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't watch that final, so I can't even argue with that. Fair enough, man.
Bro, yeah, I'm like Sheldon out of Big Bang Theory. I've got an eidetic memory.
I do from 2010 onwards, or from 2009. Other than that, I'm fucked. But I hear that Maldini, whenever you hear people talk about Maldini,
class.
Yeah. Obviously, I know he lost that final, but who cares? That doesn't take away how good he was.
He did win the one 2 years later against the same opposition.
He did. Honestly, one of the best defenders we talked about. And yeah, I mean, obviously AC Milan as well. That's actually a really good pick because there ain't many AC Milan players you could pick from that era.
Not really.
So I hear that. I fully hear that. Now people have to understand as well. It's 2 players per club. So this is harder than you think. But I've got a few players in mind. But I want to be careful. I want to be really careful because there was a lot of players from the same teams that were popping. Think about it. You're only going to have 4 Barcelona picks between us. You're going to have 4 Real Madrid picks between us. And those were the main 2 teams then. But there's also Bayern Munich. There's also Borussia Dortmund, PSG, whatever. But I have to pick this person because, again, when you're talking about best in their position, by far, again, in my opinion, I don't think there's a player that can touch him in this position in my era. Again, another player that it makes you fall in love with the game, with the way they play it. pressure was nothing to him. Like when it came to being pressured on the pitch, you're not getting the ball off him. You're not. And you'll never, ever, ever in this era see a player be anywhere near of his ability. That, my friends, I'm taking my Barcelona picks out early. It's Sergio Busquets.
Oh my god.
I cannot, like, if you'd pick Busquets, I'd have to think of a DM or a 6 or a holding midfielder that, yeah, would have been good, but would have been anywhere near the guy. So my midfield right now is already balanced because I can play whoever in front because of him. We're keeping the ball. Busquets. And obviously one of the best I've seen. Did it for years. Longevity. He had that. Pressure, like playing great under pressure, he had that. Controlling the ball, he had that. It was actually a shame for him that he actually played in the back end of that Barcelona era where they were terrible because he didn't deserve that. Because even in an old age, you would have seen in a greater team that he would have held his own. But he just didn't want to leave Barcelona that much. But when it came down to it, he moved to the MLS, of course. But I think in hindsight, he probably should have moved to another big club. But we get it because once you stay at Barcelona for a very long time, you're not likely to leave at all.
No.
But listen, Busquets was Busquets, man. You can't press him. Everyone's watched them compilation videos of him not being able to be pressed and stuff like that. And if you're too young to watch him, if you're too young to watch Sergio Busquets, go and watch any old game from Barcelona. Just watch him. Just play a cam him. Because as much as there's so many other places you can play a cam, if you want to know a masterclass in midfield, in this holding midfield role, just watch Sergio Busquets. Your turn.
I'm gonna go for something similar, and I'm gonna go for a midfielder. Now, the way I've seen my midfield, especially in this situation, if we're playing 4-3-3, is I'm seeing a flat 3 across the midfield.
Okay.
But with the players being able to interchange and drop back if needed.
Right.
Now, I'm going to go with a player who's played for 3 very, very big clubs.
Yeah. Okay.
He's played for Liverpool.
I know who you're picking. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it.
He's played for Bayern Munich.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
He's played for Real Madrid. And he's also in charge of Bayer Leverkusen. It is Xabi Alonso.
That's a great pick. I was thinking about him.
Fantastic midfielder.
He was amazing, wasn't he?
I mean, even Gerrard said that the way that Xabi Alonso played allowed him to push forward a lot more. Simply because of the way Xabi Alonso was as a midfielder. He was just class.
Hypothetically, what club are you picking him from?
I'm picking him from Bayern.
Yeah. Very good. Joel,
because I've got other options I've got other options for the other club.
Yeah. I watched the overlap podcast of Rafa Benitez. In fact, it was actually 2 days ago. And he was talking about when Xabi Alonso left, and they were talking about when he left, it was like, obviously they had a bit of an argument about how he left and stuff like that, but when he left, it was so hard to recover from because he was so
100%.
key. 100%. So key to the way they played. Like, he was so key.
I mean, if you look at looking at their league positioning, they dropped from pushing Man United for the league in 08-09, finishing second. As soon as they lost Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid, they dropped to 7th. They were out of the Champions League by December.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, and they didn't have a budget then. It's not like now where everyone earns so much money in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Even Liverpool weren't earning that much money. But then again, it might have been an excuse to not spend as much. But who cares? Sticking on the theme of Bayern Munich, I'm going to finish them off quickly as well. Because I cannot pick who I want to actually pick in this position. I cannot pick him. I can't. And there is so many other players you can pick from Bayern Munich, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about best players in their position. But this guy could play in a couple positions. I'd say 3, maybe 2. But he was probably the best here. And I have to pick him. I have to. He was may not have been the best in his position, but I cannot pick the other guy. Philip Lahm. Philip
Okay.
Lahm, bro. He was like, I know you're the player you were thinking of that I may have not taken, but Philip Lahm, bro, that guy was ridiculous. Again, another player who was sick under pressure. A player that tried to be moved in midfield alongside of his end of his career, but right back was where he was unbelievable player. But he's just a legend in the game, one of the best, probably the second best I've seen in that position.
Yeah.
I get people may argue first, but honestly,
I was actually
he
having this
was just such an intelligent footballer.
I was actually having this conversation with a couple of work colleagues the other day, and we were talking about players that we've watched over the years and players that are criminally underrated. And the name Philip Lahm come up, and I was like,
He is,
100%. He was
yeah,
fantastic. Him
yeah.
in that Bayern side was just incredible. And
Especially
obviously,
if
he
you
got
just,
overlooked. He got overlooked because of the other players that they had in that squad. But Philip Lahm,
yeah.
in his position, was incredible.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing as well. Like even in whether it's his position and people that just watched the Premier League didn't realize how good he was because even if you just watched the Champions League, the guy ain't missing a game in terms of like he would perform all the time, every time the spotlight was on him, and he's not. He's always going to be the big game player that you need in defense. And
Yeah,
yes, he could play midfield as well, but this is an all-time draft. I'm not going to put Philip Lahm in midfield. So yeah, on to you, Alfie. Your fourth pick.
I'm doing this not only because he's an incredible player,
Mm-hmm.
but simply because you missed the opportunity to pick him.
Okay.
For Bayern, I'm going with Iron Robin on that right hand side.
I was thinking it. I was thinking it.
Anytime he cut in on his left foot, it was curtains.
Yep.
His pace was unbelievable. I remember watching. Do you remember when Spain got beaten 5-1 by Holland in the World Cup?
Yeah, I remember that. I
That
remember that
goal he
game like it was
scored where
yesterday.
the ball, that goal he scored where it got pinged over to him, and he sort of started fake shotting, moving past the defenders and sticking it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's
It was
amazing.
even at
Sensational.
Chelsea he was good, but everyone obviously
Yeah.
knows him from Bayern, but he played for Chelsea and Real Madrid. So,
Oh yeah.
but Bayern was where he really shone as a winger.
It was like he was the epitome of you knew where he was going, but you're not gonna stop it. Every time he cut in, it was going in.
It's like Saka.
I would have got it. Oh, whoa.
I'm not saying in terms of quality because Saka's got a long way to go before he hits Iron Robin levels.
A
But
long
in
way.
terms of
Yeah.
when Saka cuts in on his left, you know what he's going to do, but you can't stop it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's why we call Jared Bowen Iron Bowen. That's why we call him Iron Bowen. But yeah, Jared Bowen. Iron Robin is a fantastic pick. Like, and I'm gonna say this early on. I'm moving Messi into the midfield, but I'm playing him in a free role. That's what I'm saying. Busquets is the holder. Messi's roaming around because I want control. And there's attackers galore in all-time drafts. There is midfielders as well, but it's just 2 players per club. And we'll come to midfielder later, hopefully, if my player that I'm thinking of doesn't get picked, because I've thought of a couple gems. But I'm picking this guy because I couldn't pick him last time. I have to make room for him, and I have to pick him. I have to. Obviously, he was picked in our last draft. This is the first player that was picked in our last draft for a different club. I know it didn't really end the way it wanted to for people. However, it didn't matter. Even when he was not first choice, he would come on and make an impact a bit like the Champions League final. And that is Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
I'm not letting him slip twice.
Do you know what? I don't even blame you for picking him. I was before the recording started, I was like, if he doesn't pick Bale again, he's gonna be kicking himself.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. I cannot let Bale go under the radar. I
No,
don't care.
100%. No way.
I didn't even refer to this because I would have referred to this if I picked him in the last draft. I was there when he scored at Upton Park. That goal. Gary O'Neill should have closed him down, yes, but that goal was sensational. That's the best goal I've seen live scored against my club.
Picked up the ball from Tom Carroll.
Yeah.
Moves out a bit onto his left foot. Smacks it top right corner.
Amazing.
Oh my word.
Amazing. Like, just ridiculous. Moving on.
We've
Sorry,
got to talk about Bale a bit more, honestly. There was so many incredible moments from Gareth Bale. Obviously, the main one that springs to mind was that goal against Liverpool in the Champions League final.
A red kick.
He said in that What I Wore series on BT Sport that coming off the bench, he had a bit of anger because he wanted to start and he took it out on the ball.
He had to. He had to, bro.
It was Jesus Christ, man.
One of the best in that position for sure. Obviously in the front three that he was in, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So, you can't not pick him. I know people might even be like, oh, what, Bale in that? Yeah, Bale, because I'm moving Messi into the midfield because he can play that. He can play in the 10. 10 is Messi's position, but he just played in the front three. That's why he played false 9.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting him in a false 9 because I don't want to. But moving on. On to your pick.
I'm going with a right back.
Okay.
And the reason I'm putting this player at right back is because he did start off at right back.
Okay.
He's been known to be a bit of a menace.
Okay.
It is Sergio Ramos.
Oh, you fucker! To be fair, I wasn't gonna pick him, but I was thinking of him. But yeah, Ramos was sensational, wasn't he?
Yeah. Like you knew what you were getting from him as soon as the starting whistle was made. He was, no matter who he was playing for, whether it was Sevilla, Real Madrid, Spain, you just knew he was going to play for the badge, have his heart on his sleeve, and make the tackles needed to win games.
Facts. I remember him at right back. That was my era, really, when he started off at right back, and then he moved into centre back a couple of years later. Like, he can play both positions, and he's probably one of the most highest scoring defenders. I'm sure, because he took penalties and free kicks as well. And he was good at that. The technique he had for a centre back and for a defender in general was unbelievable. And that Spanish team in general was just bonkers in itself.
I think one of Ramos's main moments was the equaliser in Lisbon in 2014 against Atletico. Because at that point, Real Madrid fans were thinking, great, we've just lost the Champions League to our local rivals. Then all of a sudden, Sergio Ramos steps up, takes it to extra time, and then Real run away with it.
That's a big game moment. It's a big game
moment.
Yeah, such a clutch moment. That's what, those are the Champions League finals you remember for years and years to come. That was such a great final. Especially when it's rare that you get two local rivals in the Champions League final as well. That's a good Atletico side. People forget.
Yeah.
As well. So, this pick, I'm going to get this guy off the table because if I will seriously hate myself if I don't pick him. I cannot pick the other people in his position because I picked people off their club already. He's a current player.
Okay.
And he's a player that's probably going to retire in a couple of years, but he's one of the best I've ever seen, ever. And will be in your top fives and whoever. And I wouldn't go past that. I would understand if people say this was that he's the best, or he's the second best, or he's the third, or even the fourth or fifth, because it's hard to rank these players in this era and this position, and he's done it all this past decade. Luka Modric. I have to pick him.
What a player! What
yes,
a player!
I picked two Tottenham players that went to Real Madrid, but I knew I was going to pick Modric, and then I thought, fuck that, because Alfie's going to pick Bale again by getting reminded of Modric. So I'm going to pick Bale, and then pick Modric second. But I have to. Like, we're talking midfield, yeah. If you don't get a Real Madrid midfielder, then cool. Like you've kind of fucked the opportunity, kind of. But with the midfielders that we've picked midfielders of like some of the these are generational players. Like these are the generational. Like it's ridiculous. And I've just okay. Oh fuck! A player's just come to my head. That moment, that light bulb moment when a player's just come to your head. I'll come to it later. On to your turn.
I'm going to go with the goalkeeper.
Okay.
And I'm a bit surprised that you didn't pick this goalkeeper. But don't get me wrong, Manuel Neuer was an incredible pick.
Mm.
I'm going with the goalkeeper who has been widely regarded by the president of UEFA as the greatest player to put on the goalie gloves.
Mm-hmm.
It is Gigi Buffon.
Yeah, I was thinking him, but I just Neuer. It was just too.
Yeah, it was too much of an opportunity to miss.
Yeah, I just didn't want to happen.
Obviously, I've already picked Ronaldo and Ramos, so I couldn't pick Casillas.
Yeah, Casillas was up there.
I've got other players in mind for Barcelona, so I couldn't have picked Valdez. Because if I'd have picked Valdez, I would have had to have taken a Barcelona player out of the team. So I feel like with Buffon, he was just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Juventus, particularly. I mean, no one really talks about his time at PSG or his time at Parma where he started, but he was just incredible, not only for Juventus, but for the Italian team in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I obviously I couldn't pick go from the goalkeeper perspective. That I could you can't have two Real Madrid players and then pick the goalkeeper. You can't have two Barcelona players and then pick the goalkeeper because of how good their outfield players were. So the fact that we picked Neuer and Buffon, it makes so much sense. Like it was even one of the two, really.
I feel like we've done the right thing in terms of picking a goalkeeper that's outside the two main teams that we could pick from.
Yeah, facts. But should we include Premier League players in this?
I mean, like we said off camera, we could, if we get strapped for picking players, we can always move back to the Prem if we need to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling quite confident again in this draft, so I'm not hitting the fuck it button yet in terms of moving back to Prem players. But if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to.
I don't want to go there yet, but my mind's gone blank for some reason. But I thought of a gem, but I don't want to pick him yet. But I'm gonna go with the other gem. I thought of a good way of tactically moving around this game. I want to go for a player that is in Brazil now. He's played for literally not every club. Not played for every club, but he's played for a lot of great clubs over the years. I don't remember how many times he's won the Champions League. I want to say at least 2. He's a centre back, and I have to pick a centre back because I haven't picked one yet. This guy is played in the Italian league, the French league, and the Premier League.
Yeah, I know who it is.
And he's a defender of a generation. He's when it comes to longevity, this guy's been playing for as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva. Amazing player. Amazing defender. Can read the game, leadership, longevity. I think he won the Champions League for AC Milan. I'm not too sure though, but I think he did with AC Milan and Chelsea. I could be wrong.
I don't think he was part of the squad. I think he was just breaking through the last time AC Milan won a Champions League.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just realized where I could pick him, but I'm going to pick him for PSG because I watched him the most at PSG.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Thiago Silva from that.
Yeah.
Moving on to you.
I'm going to go with another Juventus player.
Oh, fuck. I know who you're picking. I fucking hate myself for not picking him.
Do you want to say it or should I?
You say it. Just do it, Prev.
Andrea Pirlo.
Ah! Fuck's sake!
Fantastic midfielder.
That's worse than the Bell one. I had a vision, and I didn't meet up to the vision. I had a vision, and I fucking didn't meet up to it. Oh, fam. He was one of the best I've ever seen. Do you know what I said? Oh, players just come into my head when I picked Modric. It was him, bro.
I knew it. I knew it.
It was fucking him. Oh, fuck's sake.
He was just one of them midfielders that he was always, even if it didn't look like he was doing a lot, he was still doing a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there wasn't many times where I saw Andrea Pirlo have a bad game.
Yeah, never. Barely. What's your best moment of Andrea Pirlo? For me, it's the chip against England.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember being a kid. Yeah, obviously I wasn't England to win it, but I was like, how the fuck has he done that? Like, just being in awe. Like,
the first thought that went through my head when he dinked it past Joe Hart was, "You cheeky bastard."
Yeah.
You cheeky bastard. How are you doing this in a penalty shootout in a Euros quarter final? Imagine the size of his gonads.
People gotta understand, by the way. To remind people, this is 2 players per club. So you're wondering why hasn't he been picked? It's because we picked the players from his club already. That's why. If there's someone that we haven't picked already, and there's 2, and we've missed out on a club, let us know who we've like really missed out on. But we're gonna make some interesting teams from this.
100%.
Then the next player I'm gonna pick. I don't care. I'm finishing off my PSG picks. I don't think I was gonna pick this many PSG.
Oh,
players.
you fucker! You fucker!
Yep. I'm picking him because because I'm gonna struggle with people in his position if I don't pick him. And I was thinking about picking him either second or third, but I didn't want to risk that either. This man has also played for many clubs, but I mainly watched him at PSG. Played for a few Italian clubs. Played for Manchester United as well.
Prick.
Again, another moment against England. If we're talking about moments against England.
Oh my god!
When we're talking about moments against England, I remember when it was come to midweek games against England where it mattered when I was younger with the iconic ITV intro. Where England faced Sweden, and I was allowed past my bedtime, past 7 o'clock, to watch an England game, and then Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who I'm picking, decided to do that against Joe Hart. I was in awe. I didn't want them to score anything, but I was just in awe of what I just saw with my own 2 eyes, and that's why I'm picking him.
He got a hat trick that game, bro.
Yep.
I remember that game as well because usually my mum, whenever it was an England game on a school night, she'd always let me watch the first half.
Yeah.
But on this occasion, she let me watch the whole game.
Mm.
I've seen Joe Hart clear it with his head.
Mm.
And you're already sat there thinking, it's Zlatan.
Mm.
You know he's going to do what you think he's going to do. And he just smacks it off the bicycle. Completes his hat. Doesn't even complete his hat trick. He got all 4.
Bro, he was a bully. He was a bully in the air. He was a bully with his feet. He could link play. He may not be the fastest, but he could make the ball stick.
That power shot against Anderlecht.
Oh, man. he shouldn't have been in MLS even at his age because he could still play in the top end of Europe.
Bro had aura.
That's when aura mattered.
Bro, the guy went on an interview, and the interview was talking about Carlos Vela. And Zlatan's like, he's playing in MLS and he's in his prime. He's 29. When I was 29, where was I? Big difference.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like he's the only player that we can pick that's allowed to refer to themselves in the third person.
That's my thing. Like, he was a guy that you had that personality where you love him or hate him for it, but he was one of the few that could back it up.
Yeah,
with his personality, so you couldn't really fault him too much for it.
No,
but
100%.
That didn't matter in the end. Like, he was just that guy. He was that guy. But I'm proud. I'm proud that I picked him. Yeah, the definition of that. I'm proud that I picked him because I was going to struggle with number 9s after that.
And you fucked me up in the process because now I've got to change my striker.
You was going to pick him, wasn't you?
I was going to pick Zlatan, yeah.
I'm glad I got you once because you got me twice.
But I'm glad because I've got another name.
What?
For striker, and I'm going to go with that name for my next pick. Not really a player that you think about in terms of like a player that gets overlooked in terms of the great strikers of our generation. Also played for quite a few clubs. But I'm picking him for his time at Inter Milan.
Oh,
Samuel Eto'o.
That's a great pick. That's a fantastic pick. Because yeah, he's probably the I'd debatably say the best African player I've seen.
Him and Drogba,
Yeah.
in terms of strikers, in terms of African strikers, I don't think anyone comes close.
Yeah.
Other than strikers, you're probably looking at maybe SEN, Yaya Toure. But when it comes to African strikers, the big two are Samuel Eto'o and Drogba.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
I mean, he went to Chelsea when he was getting on in years and still looked class.
And wore the number 5.
At Everton as well,
Everton.
bro.
He wore the number 5 at Everton, bro.
He made the Russian Premier League famous.
Yeah.
By joining that Angie Makachkala team.
Yeah. He was on 5s at the end. And he played for like so many great teams.
Inter, Barca, Chelsea.
He was even at Real Madrid when he was really young. He played like 3 games. That's ridiculous. That's a great. That's a great pick.
What a player!
Great pick. Yeah. Now, I'll be real. The position I'm going to struggle with in this draft is left back, because of the lack of options there were. So I might have to dip into the Premier League later on because there were a couple of left backs from there. But I don't know. I won't struggle with centre back because this guy, in terms of intelligence, again, longevity is the key. It's pretty much been the theme of my draft. He actually recently, I think he retired last year or early this year. But this guy was, when you talk about reading the game, being ahead of time, he deserved to win a Champions League in his time. He probably got overshadowed because of the centre backs that were playing in Spain and Germany. But not just part of a great partnership, but the main guy of the partnership, in my opinion. An Italian shithouse in Chiellini. Obviously, when we talk about Chiellini, I think the first thing, especially if you're English, goes to mind is the recent, not the final that just gone, but the final before that.
I've got flashbacks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, yeah, understandable. But this guy knew how to win games. He just didn't know how to win the Champions League. But he was very intelligent, decent on the ball, didn't make many mistakes, and his experience carried him as he got older and older. And
yeah,
if you put a back four or so far of Lahm, Silva, and Chiellini, like that's intelligence.
That is a strong back four.
Yeah, that's experience right there. So that's big game players. So
Yeah.
I just need that left back. So I've literally got my left side left, which is left back and left wing. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
How many Barca players have you picked?
2. So I can't pick. You know who?
Oh, so I can take him.
Yeah, you can.
I can take him.
I don't like the fact. I don't like the fact you can take him.
I can take him at left back.
Yep.
Jordi Alba.
Yeah. Fair enough. Who have you
Consistent.
got in your front three? Who have you got in front three quickly?
Front three is Robin on the right, Ronaldo on the left, and Eto'o through the middle.
Fucking hell. Fair enough.
Just
Right.
pace.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just pace.
Yeah. Jordi Alba. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, Jordi Alba at left back. Consistently one of Barcelona's best players. It was very hard. It was very difficult for him to be one of Barca's best players when you've got players like Suarez, Messi, Neymar, players like that. It's very difficult to be a shining light in a team full of quality players. But at left back, Jordi Alba was one of the players that consistently did his job.
Facts. For sure. For sure. I'm struggling. Left side, I'm struggling. When it comes to left back, because I thought you were going to pick Eric Abidal for a second, because he was part of that great Barca team.
Shit! I didn't even think about Eric Abidal.
I thought you were going to pick Eric Abidal.
I didn't even think about Eric Abidal. How can I not pick him? The guy survived cancer, for God's sake.
Yeah, the guy survived everything.
Do you remember when it was just after it was announced that he'd survived cancer, and he went to go and I don't know whether it was after he just survived cancer or whether it was before his retirement, and Carlos Puyol went to hand him the La Liga trophy, but Alex Song thought Puyol was giving it to him.
I knew you were going to say that story.
Classic main character energy from Alex Song.
Yeah. Now, I found a loophole. Interesting. I'm changing one of the clubs that one of my players played for by doing it. I'm putting Thiago Silva in AC Milan. Because there was a man who played for PSG who made his summer move this summer. And he's a current player. I have to pick him.
Is he a teenage mutant ninja turtle in his spare time?
Yes, he is. And I don't his career is still early. It's still early. However, for what he's done, he's a World Cup winner. He's been in 2 World Cup finals. He's going to win the Champions League eventually. And I'm struggling for left wing. So, that all...
Oh, so you're playing him off the left?
Well, I'm not going to play him up front because he ain't really a striker like that. Because obviously I play him too.
He can play there. I feel like with Mbappe as well, I've noticed that he seems to struggle when he's playing through the middle. I mean, you saw it at the Euros for France, not just because he had the mask on because he broke his nose early on in the tournament, but even then, he struggled through. He struggles through the middle. He's kind of like Henri. Like Henri would kind of move over to the left hand side.
Yeah, but even Henri, like he could play through the middle way more than Mbappe could. Because that's Henri for you. But like with Mbappe, he even struggled for PSG through the middle. He played the best of the PSG off that left. No, will he track back? No, probably not. My team ain't gonna track back, but my team ain't gonna lose the ball. My team is gonna have the ball most of the time. And when I've got Modric, Busquets, and Messi in midfield, and I've got Mbappe, Zlatan, and Bale up front, that is goals, 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 goals. That is ridiculous. And I get people have a bit of thing of is he overrated or whatever, and I understand people's criticisms, but I don't care. I don't care. I have to pick him because I'm going to who else am I going to fucking pick? I can't pick Neymar. So Like, I'm not gonna pick Neymar for PSG.
No.
So because the Neymar I love is at Barcelona.
Yeah,
So,
100%. Never should have
listen,
left
Neymar.
Barca. We all
Yeah,
know why he
Neymar.
left Barca, but never
Yeah,
should have.
listen. Neymar was still sick at PSG, but it wasn't the same. Is that we fell in love with that front three of Suarez, Messi, Neymar,
MSN.
MSN. Like we were like I remember debating in school on a school bus or in the playground about what was a better front three out of Barca and Madrid at the time. All the
It
time.
was MSN versus BBC.
Yeah, BBC. I didn't want to say BBC because pause, but
Yeah.
but but yeah, like that front three was ridiculous. So yeah, but I had to pick Mbappe. Had to. Like so,
had to be done.
had to be done. 2 picks left for you. What's your penultimate pick?
See, I thought I was actually going to struggle for this position because I picked a lot. I've already picked the players from the big clubs. I thought I was going to struggle for centre back
Yeah.
to go alongside Maldini.
Mm-hmm.
Now I couldn't pick him for Bayern, but I can pick him for Borussia Dortmund.
Okay. Okay, I know
Mats
who you're picking.
Hummels. Mats
That's a
Hummels.
great. That's a fantastic pick. He was better at Dortmund.
Yeah,
He was better at Dortmund in the first season, in his first stint, especially. He can still. He's played at Roma now. He's having a great career.
brilliant player.
Yeah, longevity. That guy is intelligent as fuck. He's still quite
One
young,
of
but
one of Germany's best defenders.
yeah, especially in that era. Like I don't know how he didn't get called up. I don't think he got called up for the Euros, and I think he should have.
No, I don't think he did. I think he got beaten by the likes of Rudiger, Jonathan Tah,
Schlotterbeck,
Schlotterbeck,
like
a
it
couple of
should have
others
been.
as well.
I know Rudiger is probably one of the best defenders in the world at this current moment in time, but even if you wanted the option of Schlotterbeck and Hummels, the same defense that got into the Champions League final, you could have had that. So I was very interested to see what the way Nagelsmann was picking his team, but Nagelsmann's actually doing quite well at Germany, so
Yeah.
fair play to him. Now I am deeply struggling because my last position is left back, and it's a struggle because I can't pick Eric Abidal. I can't pick. Obviously, you pick Jordi Alba. I can't pick Marcelo. I can't
Yeah.
pick David Alaba. I can't pick David Alaba. So I am currently on the internet. Not gonna lie to you, I'm currently on the internet. Fuck.
If you're really struggling, you could always go for your pick in the Premier League draft at left
That's what I'm
back.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking to do.
And it wouldn't be a bad pick either.
It would be a great pick. It's probably out to like the best. Well, it's probably the best, second best left back I've ever seen in my life, and I'm gonna pick him because I can't. I'm gonna pick someone really, really fucking shit from a random European team, unless there's someone I haven't thought of. Because if we're going through Dortmund, I can't remember who their left back was then. I can't remember who Dortmund's left back was. I remember their right back was Piszczek. They had Subotic, had Hummels. I can't remember who they had at left back. Bayern Munich.
See, you're thinking of the Dortmund team that reached the Champions League final in 2013, aren't you?
Yeah, I can't remember who their left back was.
What was his name?
And I'm not going to pick Alexandro from Juventus.
Was it Marcos Santana?
I don't know whether it was Santana. Might not be. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I can't even say I watched.
Either way, Ashley Cole's a good pick.
I'm picking Ashley Cole because, listen, yeah, it is Chelsea Ashley Cole. I'm not going to pick fucking Roma Ashley Cole. But I've left myself with one Premier League player. But we basically, guys, we tried to go non-Premier League as possible because the Premier League wasn't the best league in the world then, because we had so many other players from so many other teams like Juventus, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, whatever, and AC Milan and PSG. And we tried to go as non-Premier League as possible. But if I was to go left back, I'm going down and down and down. Because I was picking people like Alexandra and all these people. Like, I'm not doing that. So, Ashley Cole is my last pick.
And my last pick is a centre midfielder.
Fucking hell.
Now, because I've only picked one Barcelona player, it means I'm actually kind of in a decent position here.
Oh, you played it well.
Really, if we think about it, I've got 3 to choose from.
Yeah, you've got some of the best to pick from.
Now, who do I go with? Do I go with Xavi? Do I go with Iniesta? Or do I go with Fabregas? Because even at Barcelona, Fabregas was a quality midfielder.
Yeah, but if you're going Barcelona,
Yeah.
you pick either Xavi or Iniesta.
I've already. Yeah, don't pay attention to me adding Fabregas to the mix. It's between Xavi and Iniesta. Let's be real.
Mm.
And I'm probably going to have to narrow it down to the man that scored Spain's World Cup winning goal. Ironically, set up by Fabregas.
Yeah. They didn't even play a striker. They just played five midfielders. They played 5 midfielders. It was ridiculous.
But because when you've got a team like Spain who are playing tiki-taka football, one-touch passing, moving it about, Iniesta constantly screening.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I've gone with a solid team here.
You have. That's my favorite midfielder of all time, actually. That's my favorite midfielder of all time.
I'd say he's one of my favorite midfielders outside of the Prem.
Yeah, it's just that Champions League final where I watched Barcelona Manchester United was the first one. I watched the second one, the one at Wembley. That was the first one I got properly sit down and remember. Because I remember my dad literally sat me down and was like, they're not going to pass backwards. Watch them. They won't pass backwards. And they didn't. And it was just them 3, like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, controlling the game and absolutely destroying Man United. Rio Ferdinand said in the middle of the game after they conceded one of the goals to Vidic, they didn't know where they were half the time because of the movement of like the midfielders and the front 3 of Villa, Messi, and Pedro. Abidal, Alves, either Mascherano, PK, or Puyol in defence.
I mean, Rooney got Man United's goal in that final, but it didn't feel like Man United laid a glove on Barcelona.
No, they didn't touch him. They didn't even deserve a goal.
Barcelona turned up to Wembley for a kickabout.
Yeah.
Which is what happened most of the time involving that Barca team.
If you ask Ferguson, he thinks putting Ji-sung Park on Messi would have won them the game, but I think he...
I feel like even Ji-sung Park would have struggled.
Yeah. Listen, Ji-sung Park was a great man marker, but come on, it's Messi.
Yeah.
But let's go through the teams again. I'll start with my team. In goal, I've got Neuer. Back 4, I've got Philip Lahm, Thiago Silva, Chiellini, and Ashley Cole. Midfield, I've gone Busquets, Modric, and Messi in a 10, kind of roaming around, with Bale, Zlatan, and Mbappe. Alfie, let's hear yours.
In goal, I've gone with Gianluigi Buffon. I've gone with a back 4 of Jordi Alba, Mats Hummels, Paolo Maldini, and remind me, who did I have at right back? Sergio Ramos.
Yep.
I've gone with a midfield 3 of Andres Iniesta, Xabi Alonso, and Andrea Pirlo, and a front 3 of Cristiano Ronaldo, Ian Robben, and Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah, I'm an honest man, a very honest man. I don't lie to people because I cannot lie. We've done 2 drafts here. You have won both. And the reason why I say that, if I'm looking objectively, I think I have a better goalkeeper. And again, I think I have a ever so slightly better defence. But this time it's slightly. I think last time I had quite convincingly better defence. With this one, you have a convincingly better midfield overall, even though I have Messi, Busquets, and Modric. But you still, with your midfield in terms of balance, you have a significantly better midfield. And your front 3 is significantly better, in my opinion, as well. So let us know what you guys think in the comments as well, because we are 2 drafts in to this series that could go on. And this has been a lot of fun. I've lost them both, don't get me wrong, but I've had a lot of fun.
I might have to change my little banner underneath my name to Elite Ball Knowledge.
You're getting complacent.
I may be out of line here, but I think it's justified. I think it's justified. If we're looking at both the teams I've picked here.
Yeah. You've done fun. Like, jokes aside, draft-wise, you have absolutely fucking smashed it. Like, I'm not even lying as well, because the two reactions I had when you picked Bale in the first draft, if you guys didn't watch Premier League draft already, and the Pirlo pick, that rattled my core. Like, that rattled me to the core. Like, Pirlo and Bale were the two ones I missed out on. Those are fantastic world-class players. Like, that is what is pissing me off. So,
I mean, you got Zlatan over me, so
yeah, I did. But you then was like, fuck that. I'm gonna pick Samuel Eto'o. So, like, you got back with that. So I can't even lie. Fair fucking play. But make sure to like the video, people. Alfie's link is in the title. So go and subscribe for more elite ball knowledge. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're new. We're on the road to 1K subscribers. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. And email for any inquiries. I'll see you guys later.